A Trump official says she's moving from Trump Plaza to public housing next month in order to shine a spotlight on the living conditions there. Lynn Patton, a longtime Trump family aide in charge of HUD's New York and New Jersey region, revealed her plans over the weekend, telling reporters that she plans to live in public housing for a month in order to, quote, fully understand public housing. But some housing experts were immediately skeptical, calling it, quote, reality TV. According to the Washington Post, HUD, the federal agency responsible for funding NYCHA, has cut $3 billion out of the Housing Authority's budget since 2001. And President Trump has called for drastic cuts to housing benefits, only to be denied by Congress. So, is this latest move a positive step towards accountability, or is it a publicity stunt? Joining us now with more on this, as well as other headlines, is city and state politics reporter Jeff Colton. Jeff, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
It's been a minute since we've had you here.
Absolutely.
But let's start with this HUD story. So, what is your take on it?
Well, is it a publicity stunt or accountability? Why not both? I mean, we'll come to see it, I guess. Just like the Apprentice TV show, it was a successful reality TV show, but it actually got Donald Trump employees for the Trump Organization. There was a legitimate benefit to it. Lynn Patton is a total Trump loyalist. She used to be essentially the chief of staff for the Trump children. She would plan, she famously planned Eric Trump's wedding. But her job was more expansive than that. She's always pushed back against the I'm not just a wedding planner thing. This will be an opportunity for Lynn Patton to really show that she is I guess, deserving regional administrator for HUD in New York. If she can turn this publicity stunt of moving into NYCHA housing into some real change for an agency that really needs real change.
Now, for people who might not quite understand, what role does HUD play in funding NYCHA?
So HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, it's a federal department run out of Washington, D.C., and it is the primary funder of NYCHA. The New York City Housing Authority has gotten money in recent years from the city and the state budgets, but my understanding is that that's all discretionary. The state and the city, they don't actually have to do that. They're just putting in money because, well, frankly, the public would be pretty mad if they weren't putting anything towards these crumbling housing developments. So yeah, HUD is the primary funder. Like you mentioned in the intro, they've cut $3 billion in the past 2 decades, basically. Last year saw a slight funding increase to NYCHA, which the Trump administration has really been leaning on, saying, look, we've increased funding. But that was a drop in the bucket compared to the long-term funding decline. I guess really we'll see what happens here. There's a side issue. I mean, that this publicity stunt of her sleeping in NYCHA for a month is kind of a side note. NYCHA is going through a serious federal court procedure, and it might go under federal receivership, which would actually give the federal government a lot more control over how NYCHA spends its money, where it spends its money. We're going to get a ruling on that likely on December 14th, so in a couple weeks, a judge will be coming down with a new decision. So, stay tuned for that. I think there's going to be some big news about NYCHA coming, and it's going to be, an issue for the coming months and years.
Okay. Well, staying with federal dollars, but moving on to a different topic, our Governor Cuomo, had a meeting in the Oval Office with President Trump to talk about the possibility of finally funding this Gateway Tunnel. We saw that he actually took a trip into the existing tunnel, showing how it's falling apart. I'm sure that was very disturbing for a lot of people who commute through it, but what do we know that came out of this meeting?
Well, most importantly, we know the menu. It was beef, shrimp, chocolate cake. Oh. So thank you to the reporting in the New York Times. But on top of that, we actually don't really know what came out of this meeting. There were kind of vague responses from Governor Andrew Cuomo and Donald Trump, both saying, yeah, we get along well, and we think there's movement towards this. There was already a deal in place under President Obama.
Yes.
A deal was reached years ago, and then when Trump came into office, essentially the deal was scuttled. They said, no, there's no deal. So they had to kind of start over again. Cuomo is really appealing to Trump here, saying that this isn't just a New York issue, this isn't just something Democrats want, but really the entire health of the New York economy is dependent on getting trains into Penn Station, and to consistently get trains into Penn Station, we need to have a new tunnel. So, he's trying to appeal to Trump as a builder. Cuomo's really been flattering to Trump this past week, been saying some nice things about him and trying to clearly butter him up in order to get this potentially $13 billion in federal funding for this tunnel.
Interesting watching how different lawmakers attempt to work with the president. Moving on to another lawmaker from our area, Hakeem Jeffries. He has scored a pretty coveted spot in Congress.
That's right. Hakeem Jeffries is somebody who is probably not eager to work with the president. He's one of the most outspoken, really, members of Congress about Trump. I think every speech I've ever seen him give, he calls Trump a racist and a member of the KKK and everything like that. So it's a pretty big deal that Hakeem Jeffries is now the House Democratic Chair, if I remember that title correctly. Fifth ranking Democrat
that's
in the
part
House.
That I know.
Most importantly,
number 5,
he's high ranking. And fifth ranking sounds relatively low. But the important thing is that everybody above him is significantly older than Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem is in his mid-40s, I believe, and he's always been seen as a rising star in Democratic politics. Some people are already predicting that he could be a Speaker of the House sometime in the future.
All right, well, things that make New Yorkers happy to things that maybe annoy some New Yorkers, and that, of course, is the expected arrival of Amazon in Queens. Now, we know that the City Council is going to be holding hearings on this, and tell me about where Michael Gianaris fits into all of this.
That's right. State Senator Michael Gianaris, he is the basically the second-ranking state senator. Very powerful voice, and he represents that Long Island City area that Amazon is going to come into. Like almost every politician in New York, a year ago when Amazon was kind of shopping around looking for a home, Gianaris and everyone else was like, oh yes, come to New York, it's going to be great, we'd love to have you. Once the deal was released, Gianaris is not so happy about it. He has now he's been accused of trying to play both sides, essentially, saying that, oh yes, I want the jobs, I want Amazon here, but I'm not happy with how it's been done. So Gianaris is kind of exemplary of how a lot of politicians are feeling about this. They're trying to both appeal to the New Yorkers who are excited about this new tech hub and about these new jobs coming in, and also the large population of New Yorkers that's not happy that we're going to give so many tax breaks to Amazon, fears about gentrification in the area, fears about overcrowded subways. There's a lot of issues that people have, and politicians are really trying to walk this tightrope of being opposed to the deal, but not opposed to the result.
All right, well, that's definitely a lot to chew on. Of course, we'll be following all of these storylines, but thank you so much for joining us and discussing the headlines today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.